Hello everybody! In this video, we are going to take a look at the difference between speak and talk, as well as take a quick look at the verbs to say, to ask, and to tell. You will often hear people say that to speak is formal and to talk is informal, or that talk suggests conversation between two or more people, whereas speak does not. But this information is misleading. The real difference is much more straightforward. The verb speak refers to the action of using words with their associated meaning in a way that is recognized and generally accepted. In other words, to speak means the action of putting the right words in the correct order so that they make sense to the person listening. This is why you see English spoken here signs. When you say, I speak English, you are telling people I can use the rules of the English language to communicate with you. It is why we use the expression, speak to me, when someone has had an accident. We want to know if they have at least the basic functions of verbal communication. Otherwise, things might be very serious. As such, the verb to speak can be regarded as the base form of all verbal communication. All other forms, such as the verbs to talk and to ask, for example, are forms of speaking, but these verbs express a more detailed form of verbal communication. The verb to say adds more detail than the verb to speak. We use the verb to say when we want to describe a sentence that is a statement but does not give any information. Good afternoon is a great example of this. The phrase good afternoon conveys a meaning, so it is something more than just speaking, but it offers no information. If we go back to our accident victim, we might use say something. Here we are wanting them to not just use words correctly, but to use words that have a meaning relevant to the situation, so that we know they are aware of what has happened. To ask means to request information. What is the time? Or, do you know where the cinema is? Are examples of the verb to ask. The verb to tell is the action of verbally communicating information. We would tell somebody the time or how to get to the cinema. It's important to remember that the information we tell does not have to be true. In English, we tell lies and we tell stories. Finally, we come to the verb to talk. As with speak, the verb talk is a verb from Middle English and was first used around the 11 to 1500s. The verb talk shares the same root as the verb to tell and also to tally, which means to add up. For this reason, in English, we can recount a series of consecutive incidents. In a court of law, a witness may be asked to give their account of events. The verb to talk, unlike the verb to speak, expresses a high level of communication. To talk signifies the action of verbally communicating ideas, thoughts, opinions, and feelings, but it doesn't indicate a conversation. For example, a parent could say to their naughty child, I want to talk with you. But that doesn't indicate the parent is willing to engage in a conversation. In conclusion, all recognized forms of verbal communication are examples of the verb to speak. The verbs to say, to ask, to tell, and to talk express a much more precise form of verbal communication. And that's it. Why not follow us on Instagram, where we have lots of images that clearly explain the meanings and the use of words. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.